Hello and welcome to Value Chain TV News Update. I am Adalbio Gwejofor with the news. And on the news update, at least 5 out of 6 geopolitical zones of the country have recorded no fewer than 6 persons dead, 60 persons kidnapped, a corpse and goods worth millions of naira also stolen in the renewed spate of increased banditry and kidnapping for ransom. Fears have been heightened in the nation's capital following the alarming trend of frequent and indiscriminate kidnapping of persons, particularly in the outskirts of the city. The recent abduction of 10 persons from Dutse, resulting in 3 deaths of the victims on account of bargaining for ransom January 7th, reportedly killed 3 of their victims to send a strong warning to their relatives. Negotiating ransom payments has raised more concerns and fears over safety of lives around the city. Some Nigerians have shared their perspective on the growing insecurity and its impact on their businesses.
What I see is that the so-called the Nigerian Army, the Air Force, the Navy, the police, the DSS, the NIA, they are trying their best to make sure that those kidnappers are being arrested and bring to book, and they will go and face the judgment in the court of law.
We Nigeria, we don't have security. I'm not saying that Nigeria doesn't have security, but it's not enough, especially this airport road. If you are going airport road, one chance full airport road. Even to enter road by night, you are afraid. Even by now, you are afraid of going from here, Area 1 or Wagwarada. So my advice to government, let him employ more security.
In the first place, the insecurity is something that is very alarming. I just don't know where to begin. Everywhere or every part of this country is unsafe. Formerly I was thinking it's only the north, but right now it's everywhere. Kidnapping, you name it, all kinds of insecurity, criminality that's going on all over Nigeria. People are not safe, people are being kidnapped in their houses, in various homes, in schools, you name it.
The federal government says it plans to achieve a 57% boost in the revenue collection for the year. In a recent forecast by Bloomberg, which highlighted projections made by the Federal Inland Revenue Service, an increase of 57% is targeted in 2024, translating in 19.4 trillion naira compared with last year. Accordingly, the report indicated that the government expects 9.96 trillion naira in tax revenue from oil and 9.45 trillion naira in non-oil revenue. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, has disclosed that 40% of global employment is at risk as a result of the continued growth of artificial intelligence. The IMF report stated that employment in advanced economies were at a greater risk of 60% of jobs exposed to artificial intelligence, while the overall exposure is 40% in emerging market economies and 26% in low-income countries. IMF noted that while the risk of jobs was greater in advanced economies, they were also set to reap the biggest benefits from AI. A few Nigerians have reacted to this projection.
I will not be happy, and I don't even pray that should happen. We don't want it to happen in this country because the situation of the country now is very, very bad. The way people are passing through difficulties, people are dying with hunger. They will not. No. Nobody is praying to lose his job. It will not work.
It will give room for more competition. Become competitive because. But naturally, one would have to feel bad, or it would, at the end, make you to be more competitive and be creative on beating the AI.
The presidency has confirmed that President Bola Tinubu approved 3 billion naira for the verification of the National Social Register that was compiled under former President Muhammadu Buhari. Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, disclosed this while responding to fresh revelations on the matter, also warning against a media trial of those currently under investigation, including the suspended Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Betta Edu. He said that the social register was created for cash transfer and other social investment programs under Buhari. This is coming on the heels of fresh controversies after it was revealed that a company owned by the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, was paid under Better Edu for consultancy services from the contract. The Code of Conduct Bureau has invited the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, over his company's involvement in the alleged 438 million naira contract fraud by the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation. Tunji-Ojo's invitation by CCB comes after the Bureau's investigation into the minister's alleged breach of Code of Conduct for public officers following his company, New Planet Projects Limited's involvement in benefiting from the contract fraud of the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs under the leadership of the suspended minister, Better Edu. Reports reaching us indicates that CCB, in a document signed by the CCB Director of Investigation and Monitoring, Gwimbi SP, on behalf of the CCB Chairman, Murtala Aliyu, invited Tunji-Ojo to appear at the CCB headquarters in Abuja. The Ministry of Finance Incorporated, MOFI, has acquired stakes previously held in the 11 successor electricity distribution companies of the defunct Power Holding Company of Nigeria, PHCN, and the Bureau of Public Enterprises, BPE, in order to ensure better utilization of public assets. The revocation notice was contained in a memo signed by the Chief Executive Officer of MOFI, Mr. Armstrong Takan, and addressed to the Chairman of the Board of Electricity Successor Companies, directing the immediate removal of the BPE nominee directors to the board of the companies. This action indicates that the federal government, through MOFI, formally terminates the power of attorney granted the BPE to hold on its behalf. Meanwhile, latest data from the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, indicates that despite the ongoing epileptic power supply across the country, revenue collection by the 11 electricity distribution companies rose by 30% in the first 9 months of 2023 from 598.13 billion naira collected over a similar period in 2022 to 782.74 billion naira. Nigeria's leading integrated indigenous energy company, Ardel Holdings PLC, has announced its acquisition of equity interest in Shell Petroleum Development Company, SPDC Limited, Nigeria, through Ardel Energy Limited. This was disclosed in a statement issued by the company, noting that the acquisition is premised on the signing of a landmark transaction between Renaissance Africa Energy Company Limited and Shell International PLC to acquire its 100% shareholding in the Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria Limited, SPDC. Managing Director Adegbite Falade, while speaking on the acquisition, said that the successful acquisition represents a key step in the company's journey to becoming a leading energy company in Africa and aligns with its long-term strategic growth plan, as well as demonstrates its commitment to the firm's 3R strategy, including resilience, robustness, and redundancy. President Bola Tinubu has called on Nigerians not to worry over the increasing departure of young professionals out of the country. He made the call while on an official visit to Imo State to witness the inauguration of the second term of Governor Hope Uzodinma in Owerri. President Tinubu emphasizes the commitment to train more individuals to fill the vacancies that may arise from the increasing spate of migration. Our correspondent, S.A. Ufoma, completes the story.
A lot of Nigerians are seen to be relocating out of the country because this country might not be favorable to all. They go out there to look for greener pastures, but we come with a big question: which is more favorable, outside the country, that is the Japa syndrome, or Nigeria, our beloved country? Come with me as we ask Nigerians what they think.
I, as a person, I'm even set for Japa right now because nothing is working in Nigeria. The way it is now, If you are to train professionals in Nigeria, nobody believes in any government anymore. Because I've been in Nigeria for over 5 decades, and what we've been hearing from president is we are going to do this, we are going to do that. At the end of the day, nothing happens. So now, I as a person, I'm set right now. Anytime from now, I'm going to Japa because nothing is working.
I don't think that's true. You get, because this is not the first time they've promised and disappointed. You get, so on the issue of jackpotting, as you said, if I see any slightest opportunity, I'm out of it. Yeah, I'm out of it.
If I see opportunity, I will went out because the suffering is too much. If you want us to stay in this Nigeria, may everything change.
And that's it on the news update. I am Adalbi Ogujofor. Thanks for staying with us.